Good morning. Monday morning. Last video where I went on the rant about performance pay and the company I'm in, I noticed the audio quality was just terrible inside the van. So I went ahead and I got something to hopefully take care of that. And it wasn't cheap, so we'll see. I'm really hoping that takes care of it. And yeah, I do have a couple calls on my board today. One of them's just swapping out filters, and another one is an actual service call. I gotta swap out some filters for I live real far south from where my actual office is, so this call is far south and I'm the one close to it, which whatever, we're not above swapping out a couple filters. And the other one is, from what I see, an actual service call, a no cool, I believe. System is not cooling, store is super hot. Okay. Sounds like a service call to me. That'll be a good one. I have a head mount, like a headband, which I'm gonna look real funny with that thing on, for my GoPro, so that I can use my hands, and then I have the little microphone deal, so that you can hear me. But anyway, I will see you guys on one of the calls.
Well, it sucks doing it in person. I
Yeah.
can get them for like $350 and it'll take care of my house.
Yeah. All right.
Set that pressure valve thing. We'll test the freon in there.
Yeah, this is, I'm going to get the refrigerant levels here. Just because. Well, yeah, this is my manifold, my gauges.
Okay.
I'm starting here because it should be a little bit more warm coming out, and then you also told me that they added refrigerant before.
Yep, I had refrigerant probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Month and a half, 2 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Like a pound and a half of beer.
Well, that suction line's really cold.
That's a what?
I said the suction line's really cold, like almost freezing cold.
Is that bad?
Too cold where it starts freezing is usually a sign that something's going on. Could be a number of things.
Wait, so you're saying the big ass unit freeze solid like my mini split did when I had too much freon in it?
Well, too much freon probably wouldn't cause it to freeze, but being low, yeah.
Well, mini split freezes because we had to cut the copper light short to make it a little bit needed.
Yeah.
So we still had the like 135 without the 10 pounds of line, or the 10 foot of line that had to be run. So now I'm stuck playing a game of catch up. Trying to figure it out.
Yeah, mini splits are a different animal. They're a pain.
Are mini splits easier than this?
No. Much more difficult, usually.
Actually, I said that backwards. This stuff's easier for the mini splits than that.
This, yeah. So let me see.
I really knew what I wanted to say about that one.
410. Well, we have a high superheat and a high subcooling, so.
Is that a good thing or bad?
It's usually a sign of a restriction. But, well, I guess, yeah, because our liquid temperature's pretty up there. Alright, so look at the cross temperature here.
Did you shut it off or did it do that?
It did that itself. I'm wondering maybe if it's satisfied. So let's go to the
Well, so I would assume it
thermostat.
probably reached the equalizing temperature inside.
Yeah. So we just satisfied. Yeah. Let's go to 68. Let me check one thing real quick here. Typically, your filter. Is there a filter back grill, or do you put your filter in here?
Don't know. Gotta be honest with you. I think it's the top one though.
Okay. Okay. Woo, look at that evap.
That didn't sound good, did it?
No, the evaporator coil's not doing too hot as far as condition.
I'm assuming that's what makes the water that pulls out of there to cool this place down might be leaky.
What's that?
With the evaporator. I'm assuming that deals with the water that the AC draws.
What that drain pan does, yeah. Okay.
Looking for a flashlight?
No.
Oh.
Okay. So now we're gonna see what that evap looks like on the other side.
I don't know if an endoscope might help, but I have one.
I just need this to be in focus. Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
No. Essentially what's happening is it's struggling to breathe on there. So when someone came and put in refrigerant, you have very impacted coils to where it looks like it's low because the coil's impacted, but you're
frozen in place and so overfilled.
so well, yeah. If you put refrigerant in it when it's like this, yeah, it's that's why your head pressure's too high, but your suction seems okay. But that's because it's doing this. It's got a restricted coil. This, you know what? I don't have a filter.
Just give me the size on that. Actually, I see writing on it. When has that last one been changed?
This is 16 and a half.
A year ago.
Yeah,
That's not good.
16 and a half by 21 and a half by 1, which is a carrier size. I would keep that out for now, because all we're doing is going to restrict anyway.
Yeah, that's just going to cause it to breathe worse.
And I'd get a filter like right away, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. Now, what about the rest of it? Not the filter part.
The evaporator?
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to need a pull and clean. But in order to take care of that, what we do is we pull the coil out and wash it chemically.
Yeah.
And then reinstall it. But let's see what year this system is. This is 2010. We don't do that on anything over 10 years old. So as far as that's concerned, I can let the office know the situation we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
But I'll leave that up to them, and if they want to take that on. But typically, so especially when the copper and everything in there is looking like that, and it's rusty.
Yeah.
When we unbraze it or unsweat it to take it out,
Yeah.
The heat, basically any structural faults in that metal, they become very apparent. You get leaks and stuff like that, and more often than not, when it looks like that, you just cause a problem taking the coil out. So that's that for. Let me check this blower
As a
wheel.
test for something like this, what would your recommendation be? Would it be, I need a new one?
I mean, honestly, 2010. I mean, I come from a mindset of usually fixing things over replacing.
Yes.
But in this particular instance, the amount of labor and everything you're going to be paying to take this coil out.
Which would be cheaper, do you think?
The coil will definitely be cheaper, but what's going to go wrong with it next?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When,
So in
how
the
long?
run, it'll be just a nickel and dime fight.
Right.
Okay.
Potentially. I mean, we could pull and clean the coil, and then you're good for a long time, or it could turn around the next day and have a different issue.
I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather spend the money one time to make sure I don't have issues for a while.
Yeah.
Than have to nickel and dime everything.
Well, and then you get the warranty and everything that a new unit comes with, but
That's
I don't try and pressure anybody into, because I don't get anything out of it. I'm not commission or anything, but
neither do I. I just gotta wait on my people. I just gotta tell my people what needs to happen. Is that a 2-ton or what size unit is that out there? Do you know?
one sec here. Okay, the fins seem to be okay. I'll tell you here in a sec. Let's see. 48 is a 4-ton.
Okay.
So it's 48,000 BTUs. Sounds like Teletubbies or something on there.
Nope. It's an Xbox game that I haven't played or started playing with.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just wrap up the tools and everything. I'll write it up, and it'll just be basically the diagnostic and trip charge, whatever, and that's it. And then we'll go from there. I actually, you know what? Let me get, just in case, get the model serial off of that air handler.
Now, if I were to have a new one installed, would you guys send somebody out to do that too?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an install department.
Cool.
And all that stuff. So, but we'll see. I mean, we can give you a price on both, and I mean that's if the office they'd even want to pull it out. I don't get to make that decision, but we'll give you a price on both to weigh it out.
Yeah.
And, see which you'd like more. I mean, new system is good because the warranty, but at the same time, who knows how long that thing will last after a coil's replaced or pull and clean. But
Yeah.
anyway,
The bigger issue is what's going to work better for longevity.
yeah. So I'm gonna wrap that stuff up, and I'll be back and
Awesome.
get your signature and all that. Okay, so what was going on, I'm sure you saw, was the evaporator coil was completely impacted. And you see we're not balancing out very well our standing pressures. Operating liquid pressure was really high, and our reason why I'm not really caring about the filter dryer too much right now is because if we come back out, do a pull and clean, or if we replace the system, we're going to be replacing that filter dryer anyway, 3/8 line. So, but yeah, essentially with those pressures that were showing some sort of restriction, narrowed it down pretty quickly to the evaporator coil, because our head pressure was was decently high on the liquid side. For temperature out today is like 70, and we were sitting at 350. So whoever came out just threw refrigerant in it, didn't check the evaporator coil, and what we're looking at now is kind of like an overcharge scenario, but it's not showing overcharged on the suction because we because we have an evaporator coil that's practically freezing right now. But as far as this call, unfortunately this is kind of a short one. Not a whole lot of digging, but I guess that's it for now. So man, this battery runs out really fast on this GoPro. I'm recording in 4K. Maybe I need to try 1080. I don't know who needs to watch this in 4K, but anyway, yeah. So that wasn't the best call, simply because there was someone with me the whole time. It was an old unit, so I'm not going to. It was over 14 years old, so I'm not going to sit there and really spend a ton of time on it. You gotta replace that unit when it's in that condition, or do a pull and clean. We need to address what's going on first. So I could have done more, but in this particular scenario, I'm ready to just go home. No other call on my board or anything right now. Yeah, so what was happening there is the evaporator coil was restricted, so was the filter. They had a technician from another company come out prior and add refrigerant to it. Odds are, based on just logical thinking, is that they had a technician out, and this was a week ago or so. It might actually have a leak, sure, but the technician probably saw that it looked like it was low on refrigerant because it had a very impacted coil. That filter's over a year old, so I mean that coil's been impacted for a while. Saw that it looked like it was low because not enough warm air was passing over the evaporator coil when he was there to show normal pressures. He was probably reading like 80 psi or just above freezing, or maybe it was frozen and he had to wait for it to thaw, who knows. But he thought it was low, added refrigerant. Now our head pressure is sky high on liquid, 350 on a 70-degree day. It's pretty high on for liquid and properly charged. Our subcooling and superheat were both high, so I knew it was some sort of restriction. In this scenario, I was leaning more towards a refrigerant restriction, just right off the bat in my head, because high subcooling, high superheat. But that's why, even with flow charts, you have to check your airflow. If your airflow is bad, that'll cause problems as well. But if you're on a call, try and get information from the customer as much as you can. Was somebody out here? Did someone do something? Luckily, he just volunteered. I didn't really have to ask that someone came out and added refrigerant. So it took me just a couple seconds to realize, oh, wait a minute. They added refrigerant, so they thought it was low. That's why I have high head pressure, and our suction seems kind of normal. And one thing that didn't really make sense to me right off the bat was that it looked like possibly a refrigerant restriction. Our filter dryer, temperature across the filter dryer seemed fine, at least by touch. I didn't see that suction. Typically, if there's a restriction, a really bad one, the suction will just drop real low. I mean, just continue dropping while your head pressure continues rising. That was not a symptom there, but I figured out, hey, they overcharged this, get it out of freezing, thinking that it was just low on refrigerant, which it turned out not to be. But that's why you don't just go in and say it's the TXV. A lot of technicians do that. And then they wonder why they have to come back and the problem's not solved. But it's an old system. We're going to give them the price on both. Doing a pull and clean, which it is true what I was saying to them, that when you take out the evaporator coil, the heat can spread, you know, basically to the capillaries, or the pass, not capillaries, but the passes through the coil, the little 90s that you see coming out of the side of the coil. You know, that can heat up, and you could have little leaks here, and then you could just be, you know, chasing the whole way. You're creating new leaks the whole time. A lot of times that happens with aluminum. It happens easier with aluminum coils. I'm sure we can pull and clean that and it'd be fine, but this company, they're probably going to want to replace the system. We'll give them the price for both. And this company's prices are pretty ancient, really. I mean, when I started 2012, the prices here are the same as that, and most other companies I worked for have gone up exponentially. But this, you know, they're worried about money, but they're not charging enough. So, I mean, he'll probably only be like $4,000 or so off from a new system if he does the pull and clean, to where it makes more sense just if he can get a system with a warranty. Granted, it's commercial, it's only going to be 1 year. You know, get a system with a warranty so that he doesn't have to worry, you know, if we do the pull and clean and something else happens, like a motor or something goes out, you know, quickly after that pull and clean. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Unfortunately, I don't have another call today. I'll probably make another video later on what homeowners need to look out for so they don't get scammed by these performance pay companies, because I'm really in the mood to stick it to performance pay companies. Anyway, I love you, BBS. I love you.